In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use the options chain, how to read the options chain, and how to take a trade in the option chain. Now, the option chain is something that can be very intimidating, especially for people who are from other markets, for example, the forex markets. Especially once you see those numbers, it can be very, very confusing and intimidating. But in this video, I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm going to show you how you can read those charts, how you can read those numbers, everything you need to know, the options that you need to enter or the settings that you need to enter, and how to enter and close a trade. So what you're going to do, the first thing when you fire up your IBKR Desktop, you're going to see the quote. Okay, it might take you to the quote section, or it might take you to the watch list. Normally it takes you to the quote. Okay, and under your quote, you're going to click on options, which is going to display the options for the ticker that you have selected by default. Okay, all your tickers and all your financial instruments are going to appear over here. So these are the current financial instruments that I have under my favorites. If you want to look for a different financial instrument, you can just click on add symbol over here, and you can search for your symbol over here. For example, Amazon. Okay, you can search for Amazon there, and you're going to see Amazon ticker here, AMZN. You select that, which is then going to display the options chain for Amazon. Now, if you're under your watch list, okay, which you can also look for your ticker, you can just search for your ticker over here, and you search for it again over here. For example, Target. Okay, you can then go to stocks over here. If you don't really see it under your top, you can go to stocks, and then you select Target. You click on that, and you'll see Target appearing over there. Now you can actually access the options chain of Target over here, or whatever ticker you have over here. Just simply right click, and then you click on option chain, which will then take you to the Target option chain. Okay, sometimes it takes a second to load, so you might need to give it just a few more seconds. If you see some delay, you might need to check another ticker. So let me go over to Tesla. Let me see if Tesla's options chain is showing all the numbers. All right, there we go. So Tesla is showing all of the numbers, okay, all of the parameters. So I'm going to start at the top over here. So you're going to see your options chain. So your option chain is basically this section over here, okay, where you can actually take a trade. You also have your option wizard. Now your option wizard is just basically going to show you the projection of that ticker. It's kind of like a news section, so you might not really use it a lot. I've never even opened this section actually, but these are basically some options that you can see over here. This is the option analysis, again, where you can actually analyze the ticker of these, or rather the analysis of this ticker. Okay, and if you go back to your options chain, it's basically going to show you the option here, the ticker itself here, the country where it's from. Tesla is from the USA. It's going to show you the current price and the percentage. And over here on your right hand side, you have this setting over here. So you have the standard, and if you click on this, it's basically going to switch between the bid and ask. So if I click on that, you can see now the bid and ask is on the left over here. Okay, if I go back and click on mirror, it's now going to switch between the ask and bid. Now the ask and bid is now on here. The ask is on the left hand side, and the bid is on the second column. Okay, so this is just the basic settings for the bid and ask. I'm just going to go back to standard. Okay, I'll leave it at standard. All right, where we'll have the bid and ask right in the inner section of the options chain. Okay, and then you also have this over here. You have your list view. Now the list view is basically this one here. This is actually the list view. Okay, if you want to switch it to tabs view, you can click on tabs view, which is basically going to show you more instruments or more options over here. You have a delta, gamma, theta, bid, ask, volume. Okay, although it is actually squeezed. And also what I can do, I can just extend this so that I fill this whole section and show you. Okay, so you have a delta, gamma, theta, bid, ask, and then you also have your volume over here. Okay, you can go back again to this and then click on lattice view. And this, I'm not really sure what this does, but this is just another type of view. Maybe if you are some kind of geek, you can understand, because I don't really understand anything here. I've never even opened this section, but this is what is called the lattice view. Okay, maybe you might understand it, but yeah, that is what it is. So I'm just going to take it back to the list view. All right, so then the last one over here, you have your settings. So this basically just takes you to the settings. If you click on that, it's going to allow you to select different columns. Okay, so these are the columns that I have selected. I have the delta. Let me bring this down over here. You can see I have the delta, which is here, Now if I want to remove the delta, I will click on that, and as you can see, the delta has been removed, and now we just have the gamma, theta, bid, ask, volume. So it basically allows you to add these instruments or add these columns. Okay, if I want to bring back the delta, I'll just click on search over here, delta, and then I click on plus, and then it's going to bring back the delta. If I bring this down, okay, it's brought it now over here. Now I want to bring it back to where it was over here. So in order to do that, I'm going to drag this up over here. You want to drag it with these lines over here, and then just hold it and bring it up over here. And then now, as you can see, delta is here. So the way you've arranged these columns is the way it's going to be arranged over here. So delta is 1, gamma 2, 3, theta, and so on. All right. So that is how you can add your columns. You can also add other columns. There are other columns as well that you can also add, like these options, implied volatility, things like that. You can also search for them over here. But I don't really use them because I already have them over here. Okay, I don't need to add those other settings because I already have them up over here. As you can see, I have the implied volatility over here. Okay, and then you also have the put call interest, you have the put call volume, you have your implied volume. All of them are up over here, so you don't really need to add them in the setting. You don't really need to add them over here. In fact, I'll need to remove volume. So what I'll do, I will come back over here and I will remove volume. All right, and then I'll just have the 4 rather the 5 of these. Now if it's not showing in this view, sometimes it can be hidden like this. Okay, so just make sure you click on this view metrics, and then you it's going to reveal all of the metrics. Okay, now up over here you have your put and call. Okay, now if you want to just show the calls, you can click on call, and this is just going to show you the calls, and you can also switch between calls and puts. If you want to just display the puts, it's going to display the puts just like that. All right, so the different ways that you can actually view some of these metrics. I'll just leave it at pull/call. Okay, and you can even expand this further. Let me just click on this to hide the tickers and expand the options chain. So this is the biggest view that you can have for the options chain. Okay, if you minimize, rather if you hide your tickers, and on your right hand side over here, if you hide your buy order, okay, your buy order is this over here, your buy and sell order, where you can basically place your puts and calls. So I'm just going to expand it like this. So this is how it looks like. This is the biggest way that you can actually look at it. Next, you have your strike over here. This is where you can actually add the number of strikes you have currently. Okay, currently I've selected 10 strikes. Okay, these are 10 if you count them. If you want more strikes, you can basically just select these and you can have a view. You can view more strikes. Probably you want to view 10 strikes, rather 20 strikes. And as you can see now, it's now showing much more strikes. Okay, up to 20 of them. All right, so it just depends on how many strikes that you want to see. I don't like viewing many strikes, so I just leave it at 10. All right, so now I'm going to show you how you can take a trade for your ticker. So where you want to take your trade is the ask section. Okay, this is the section where you're going to be taking your trades. Okay, you can basically click on the numbers here on your ask to take a call. Okay, this section here is for the call. As you can see, you have calls over here. So this is if you intend for the market to go up, okay, to go bullish. If you're intending for a buy market, okay, you're going to take a call. If you intend for the market to go down, if you're expecting a bearish market, you're going to place your puts, and you're going to also click on ask. Okay, you're going to always click on ask here and ask here on the call. Okay, now the section that you see that is darkened over here is in the money. Okay, this is where basically in the money, or ITM, is basically where you execute a trade. Okay, that is basically where you have told the market you want to get in on this trade immediately. Okay, so you have this black section where you're in the money. It's actually in the money once it's considered this section, this section here, this second column here moving upwards. Okay, all of this in the money. This first column here is at the money, or ATM. Okay, and this is where you get in the market immediately. When you're out over here in this gray section here, this is where you're out of the money. Okay, so you're not yet in the money, or you're not yet in the market. Okay, so if you get into a trade from here like 211, this basically means that you need to wait for the market to move upwards until it actually fills your order at 430, okay, or basically in the money, this section over here. Okay, once you're here, the market goes up, your value increases, and basically make more money. Now I have a detailed, which I'll link down in the description. That is actually my free course. I'm going to link it down here in the description, and it basically shows you everything that you need to know about the bid, the ask, okay, the delta, the gamma, everything that you need to know. So I'm not going to really cover that in this video. I might also cover it in detail in a future video, but for now I just want you to know where you can actually take your trade from the calls and the puts section. Okay, so to take a trade here, for example, I want to get at the money. Okay, I'm going to click on this over here, which is now going to reveal our buy order. Okay, it's going to open this section. Now the current price is 430. Now remember, with stock options, you multiply it by 100, okay, because we're buying 100 shares, so you always multiply it by 100. So this is going to be 430. Okay, so $430. So this is going to be open. It's going to show you the quantity of the number of contracts that you want to buy. So if you want multiple contracts, you can go and select the number of contracts that you want to increase, or that you want to take rather. All right, now as you can see, it also shows you how much you're estimated it estimates the amount that you are going to make. So for one contract, it estimates that you're going to make $430. If you take 2 contracts, it estimates you're going to make $860, and so on. Okay, now this is only if you are right in your prediction, okay, if the market goes your way rather. All right, because if it doesn't go your way, you also like to lose that amount of money that's been predicted over here. Okay, so that is one contract. We're going to work with the one contract. Now this basically shows you okay, here you have your account, and here you have your available funds. So my current available funds is this up over here, 1.4k, okay, which is also showing here. My position is not yet, and my average price is not yet. And then here you have your limit. So to get into the market immediately, you want to click on market. Okay, you always want to use market if you want to get into the market immediately. So this is a market order, and once you've selected your market, here you have your limit price, which basically also shows you the type of market that you've gotten into, whether it's limit. Okay, let's say for example, if I click on limit, it's going to show me the limit. This is basically going to allow me, if I click on submit order, it's basically going to allow me to enter the market at this price over here. So for example, if I want to adjust this, because this is the current price, so if I want to adjust this, I want to enter it at maybe when the market is at $4 or $400, because you remember you're multiplying it by 100, so $400. And then I click submit order. It's not going to get me into the market until the market gets to $444. Okay, so I'm just going to stick to a market, and then here you have your time in Dayforce. If you select this, basically means the market is going to be closed once the market closes, or your trade is going to be closed once the market closes at the end of the day. Okay, if you want it to go on to the following day or the next following days, you're going to select GTC, which is good till cancelled. Okay, that's what it basically means. And then down over here you can see your ask, the price where you entered, and then your bid again, which is basically here your ask and bid. It also shows them here. And then if you click on these attach orders, this is basically going to allow you to enter your profit, your TP, and this is going to allow you to enter your stop loss. So if you want to enter your TP, you can just click on that, enable that. So if you want to enter your TP when the market hits 530, you can adjust it basically from here. If you want it, if you want to adjust your take profit, you can also just move this up and down like this. And as you can see, it also shows you your profit in percentage and your profit in dollars over here. So I'll just leave it again to the default at 530. And you can also enable your stop loss. Okay, you can enter a stop loss over here. So by default, it has set for me a stop loss, which is 330. So if the market hits 330, it will basically take me out of the market. Okay, and again, you also have your GTC here, your GTC here. This is going to be determined by what you have set over here. So if this was in day, it is going to keep it in day, but I set it on GTC, so all of them are GTC. Okay, and now I'm going to click on submit order. But now, as you can see, as it says here, the market is closed because I'm doing this video when the market is closed, okay, which is going to open in 5 hours. So if I click on submit order, it's going to get me into the trade once the market opens. All right, so let me just show you what it's going to do. If I click on submit order, okay, it's going to show me like the order confirmation, kind of like the receipt. okay, basically telling me my action, which is a buy, my order type, okay, my quantity, time in force, all that, okay, the profit taker, the stop loss, all that, and the total. Okay, so if you look at the total over here, you can see the amount. So this is basically what the market has cost, the trade has cost me. So it has cost me $436, okay, to get into this trade, including commissions, okay, because you also have to pay the commissions and the spreads to your broker, and basically you're going to get your total. Okay, this is the total cost of that trade. And if you click on transmit, it's going to tell me that, all right, so it's actually filled us in. Then it also gives us this: regulatory obligations require us to reject any order if the limit is more than allowed distance from the current reference price. Okay, so I think I placed my stop loss too close, but that is something that you can also adjust. Okay, but anyway, it has been done. So you can click on use this order, and again it's going to tell me basically the trading hours. It's not going to be executed until the market opens. All right, so that is basically what it means. You can click on done, and now over here, as you can see, you have your order notifications. You can click on more, and it's basically going to show you the orders that you have taken for the day. And now to also view more of your orders, you can click on this open orders over here at the top over here. You can click on that, and it's going to show you the orders that you have taken. Okay, these are all pending orders since the market is not opened. As you can see, they've been submitted, so they're still pending. They have not been filled yet. And basically you can see more information for your order over here. Now if I was in the trade, it would have showed me a number over here next to the ask since I took a buy. Okay, but now since the market is closed, it's not going to show that number because we're not yet in the market. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cancel. I'm going to show you how to cancel the trade. To cancel the trade, you can just go up over here to your orders, and you can just basically click on cancel to cancel each and every one of them.
Order
okay, I'm just going to cancel all of them. Actually, it has cancelled all of them by just clicking the first one. So that is how you can basically cancel your orders. Okay, and I'm also going to clear all of these. So this section basically shows you your orders. It also shows you your positions. If I was in the trade, it would have showed me the position where I am, the trades as well over here. Here you have your AI instructions, and this is something new that I've never seen here. But if you want to dig deeper, you can basically ask your broker more about it over here. There's a chat section here, and it's also going to show you your balances. So currently this is my balance, which is basically also appearing up over here. So that's it for this video. If you want to see how you can set up your charts on IBKR for optimal trading, be sure to check out this video up over here. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.